Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, my friends. So we are from group 4 and there are three members of our group. They are Muhammad Zainuddin, Rika Monica, and Wahyu Pratama Putra. So today we are going to discuss about um speech community. There are three topics of this part. There are speech community, definition of speech community, interesting communities, definition of interesting communities, and network and repertoires. What is different between networks and repertoires? But before we discuss about that, so let we discuss about what is sociolinguistics first. So socioling sociolinguistics is the study between language and society. It means that it is the study of interrelationship of language and social structure, linguistic variation, and attitudes toward language. It is any set of linguistic forms which pattern according to social factor. Okay, the, the study of sociolinguistics also focus on the language variation that emerge in the society. For example, the way of how to speak to a group of students is different from the way of a group of the bus driver. Okay, let's discuss about speech community. Speech community is something which is difficult to define precisely. We always have to ask, what does this term to get us? Speech community is a group of speakers who share a language and pattern of language use. It means that the definition of a speech community is a group of people who speak the same language and share the same dialect, word, and grammar rules of a language as a standard of speech. These individuals also share the understanding of at least one language so that they may communicate with one another. For example of speech community is the group of English language speakers throughout the world. Members of the community speak more often with each other than they do with members outside the community. This pattern of behavior is known as communicate isolation. And what is communicate isolation? Communicate isolation is increased by social, cultural, economic, and geographical factors. A speak community comes to share a specific set of norms of language used through living and interacting together, and speak communities may therefore emerge among all groups that interact frequently and share the same norms and ideologies. Um, Speak community may share both particular set of vocabulary and grammatical conventions, as well as speech style and genres, and also norms for how and when to speak in particular ways. Maybe this all thing enough. Thank you so much for your nice attention.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Rika Monica. You can call me Rika. Today we are going to talk about intersecting communities. To understand intercultural interaction, we must first recognize the role of communication in the process. Communication is our ability to share our ideas and feelings that is the basic of all human contact. When we are communicating, we should know who our speech communities are. An ability to fit our language to speech community is called intersecting communities. One of the consequences of the intersecting identification is, of course, linguistic variation. People don't speak alike, nor does any individual always speak in the same way on every occasion. The variation we see in language must partly reflect a need that people have to be seen as the same as certain other people on some occasion and as different from them on the other occasions. In this definition, communities are defined partly through their relationship with other communities. Such a definition is an extension on the one that Bloomfield used to open his chapter on speech communities. A speech communities is a group of people who interact by means of speech. Not only must members of the speech community share a set of grammatical rules, but there must also be regular relationships between language use and social structure. Okay, I think it's enough today. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wahyu Pratama Putra. I'm from Group 4 and I'm a third speaker. And I'm gonna talk about networks and repertoires. Social networks approach are based not on shared language use or shared evaluations, but on the social ties people engage in. According to Platt, 1975, a speech repertoire is the range of linguistic varieties which the speaker has at his disposal and which he may appropriately use a member of his speech community. So the conclusion is speech community is a group of people who speak at the same language and share at the same dialect, words, and grammar rules of a language as a standard. Social network approaches are based not on shared language use or shared evaluations, but on the social ties people engage in. A speech repertoire is the range of linguistic varieties which the speaker has at his disposal. So that's all from us. Thank you and see you again.